based on the number of people that apply and are selected, is higher than becoming a civil servant in India. I was one of 35 American astronauts selected out of about 8,000 people, which is a 0.4% success rate. People often ask me about flying in space, and they say, what is the best part about being an astronaut and having the privilege of being able to fly in space? Is it the launch, the landing? Is it floating around in zero gravity? Is it looking out at our planet Earth, which is incredibly beautiful, like I mentioned? But what is the best part about this job for you? And for me, all these things are great, but what I really enjoyed about my time, my 20 years at NASA and flying in space, is that it was a really hard and challenging thing to do. And that's what I want to talk to you a little bit about in, I think, the 10 minutes that I have, is about doing the hard and challenging stuff, not the easy stuff. Anyone can do that. I'm not going to talk about the challenging things that I was able to do in my career. For me, the hard things always involved having a goal and a plan to get there. It was about taking risks, being willing to make mistakes, at times even being willing to fail. It was about focusing on the stuff I could control and ignore what I couldn't. It was about testing the status quo and about working as a team, because in my experience, when I was able to put all these things together, what I learned is that the sky is not the limit. Cliche, I know, but absolutely true in my case. Now, unlike probably these 4 gaganauts out here, I was not a good student growing up. I was a kid that sat in the back of the room, looking out the window, looking at the clock, trying to make it go faster, and being an astronaut was not something I ever thought I would be able to do. And for me, it involved some inspiration that I found in a book, Tom Wolfe's The Right Stuff, that inspired me to eventually fly in space. And like I said, I applied to be an astronaut in 1996, and I flew my first space flight in 1999. And I can remember looking out the window, my first 20 minutes in space, and I saw something on the horizon. I didn't even recognize what it was. And I said to one of my crewmates, I said, what is that? That thin film on the surface? And he said, that's our atmosphere. And I saw how incredibly delicate and fragile the surface of our planet is. Almost like a contact lens over somebody's eye that protects every living thing we know here on Earth. And that film is a lot thinner than you think. From orbit, you don't see politics. You don't see religions. You don't see political borders, with a few exceptions. You see the Indian-Pakistan border at night, and you can see the DMZ. And that's about it. During the daytime, it looks like we are all part of one big planet Earth. And that perspective, it changes you. It also connects you to something very old. In Indian philosophy, there's this phrase, and I'm going to probably butcher it, but Vasudhaiva Kutumbaka. And it's a word. Thank you. I'm sure I butchered it anyway. But it basically means that the world, our planet, is one family. And from orbit, it's not really a philosophy. It's really just geography. Because Earth